Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and as part of our reward for winning LEGO Masters Season 4, we got a chance to go out to Bill in Denmark and get a tour of the LEGO Vault. So what is the LEGO Vault? Well, the LEGO Vault is a almost mythological place in Denmark that houses a copy of every single LEGO set known to man that has ever existed. In the vault are over 8,000 LEGO sets. Technically, there are more here, but that's besides the point. The vault is still really cool because they are not just a copy of every LEGO set, but it is a sealed copy of every LEGO set they have ever made that has been sold throughout standard retail means. This is the kind of access that you can normally only get throughout the LEGO Inside Tour, which is a lottery system in which you can apply to try to attend the Inside Tour, but thankfully, we were fast-tracked to get a specialized LEGO Idea House Vault Tour, and I'm incredibly thankful to the LEGO Masters crew for making it happen and for giving us this incredible experience and allowing us to share it with all of you. And so, without further ado, let's jump right in to our tour of the LEGO Vault in Bill in Denmark, home of the LEGO Brick. I'm so excited. I am about to do something I never thought I would do in my lifetime, which is go and see LEGO's vault of every single LEGO set ever made. There may be some canceled items in there as well, so I'm super hyped. Rob, you excited to check out the vault?
I'm always excited.
Oh yes, okay, let's do this. We're about to check out the vault, which is where LEGO keeps a copy of every single product they've ever made throughout all of history, fully sealed. I know what I'm going to be looking for: Bionicle stuff, vintage LEGO sets, maybe even some canceled sets. I'm going to be on the hunt for the Spider-Man wrestling scene. It's going to be so amazing. I never thought we'd be able to do this, so I'm so excited. Let's go. So first of all, what exactly is the LEGO Vault? Well, maybe calling it the LEGO Vault isn't entirely accurate because LEGO actually keeps multiple vaults. The vault we got to see and the vault that everybody gets to see is the showroom vault. This is the one they show to important guests or to visitors or for people attending the LEGO Inside Tour. It's the kind that you can walk around and take a look at all the different sets yourself and go on from there. Now, LEGO does actually keep a separate vault for some of their most exclusive items. There is an alternate vault that is only available to LEGO employees and only high-clearance LEGO employees that has a copy of literally everything in pristine condition, factory-sealed, temperature-controlled, that is literally a top-secret vault. Like, it is somewhere in Denmark. Nobody knows where that vault is. So there's that vault. And then there's another vault that is just another backup copy of every set LEGO has made, including canceled sets and employee-exclusive sets. So LEGO has a ton of vaults. Long and short of it is that this is probably the least complete one, because what's on display here are pretty much only the standard retail production sets. That means that any polybags or employee gift exclusives or even Comic-Con exclusives are specifically not put in this vault. Due to their rarity and due to their exclusivity, they are only placed in the other top-secret vaults. That being said, this still had more than 8,000 LEGO sets, which I actually will say that I believe I have a little bit over 8,000, so I might actually have a few more sets than this at my house, but this was a copy of pretty much every single LEGO set ever made, give or take a few. Obviously, this isn't 100% complete, but they had a lot of the important ones, and this was really cool, because obviously, this vault is very special, because not only is it a copy of every single LEGO set fully sealed, but it's a copy of all of them in mint condition, basically directly from the factory. Now, we actually got a chance to have our guided tour given by a LEGO historian, which was really, really cool, so thank you so much to the folks who arranged that. And one thing that we learned over the course of the tour was that LEGO takes so much pride in preserving their history that if there is a set missing from one of the vaults, they will actually go out and hunt down a mint sealed copy of it, whether on Bricklink or on eBay, using fake shell accounts or by using just different personas so people don't know they're selling something directly to the LEGO group, but they will go out of their way to actually purchase things, which I found to be really funny. The other thing I do want to mention is that they actually specifically told us we were only allowed to take photos inside the vault and not capture any video. Personally, I'm not 100% sure why, because in the past there have been video tours of the LEGO vaults, but apparently it is the new policy that any visitors are only allowed to take photos. I'm guessing that maybe something was in the vault that wasn't supposed to be there in a previous video. I'm not really sure what was up with that, but anyway, photos do the trick just fine, and I'm really excited to be able to showcase some of the craziest and rarest and most interesting items I was able to find, like this metal LEGO Technic case. which Bionicle creator Christian Faber himself designed in order to give a special presentation for the LEGO Technic Cybermaster set. For me, it was really cool seeing some of the most obscure stuff here. From Snap to Scala, these were in mint condition, and some of these items I have never seen in person myself, and it was so cool being able to go down memory lane and see all of these bizarre and weird LEGO items in the original packaging, something that isn't even that well documented online. There might be a few blurry pictures here and there, but it was really cool being able to see that, and even a nice little nod to Bionicle with the actual patent print for the Kanohi Miru on the side of the wall itself. Of course, I did try to hunt for cancelled LEGO sets. I tried to look for the Spider-Man wrestling scene set and the cancelled Overwatch sets, which were in the vault at some point but were since removed. However, I did find the Asia Pack exclusive LEGO Galador sets, which were really cool. Tager and Aquart are probably some of my most wanted LEGO sets, and I cannot find them anywhere for a reasonable price. Hey, if you have one, please let me know, I'd love to make a deal. But these ones are some of the rarest LEGO Galador sets yet. But yeah, no cancelled sets, so no Mokar or anything like that. Pretty much just as long as it hits store shelves somewhere in a standard retail store, they did have it. Now, it was really cool seeing all these sealed Bionicle sets as well. That was definitely one of the highlights of the entire visit, and it was really nicely organized as well. You could start from the very beginning of LEGO's history, the 1950s, going all the way to the 1970s, and see examples of really good condition boxes. Even some of the ones that were more beat up are probably in the best condition that exist in the world. Now, of course, they did have a display dedicated to the wooden toys as well, which was part of the Idea House, which is the rest of the house that houses this massive archive. We'll be putting out a separate video on the LEGO Idea House very soon, so definitely stay tuned for that. It is actually Ole Kirk Christensen, LEGO founder's original home, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, here you can see us exploring through the different shelves. Here's me looking at some of the classic LEGO sets, and of course, I had to get a picture by the classic famous LEGO Galaxy Explorer set number 928, which was insane to see fully sealed in mint condition. I didn't even know that existed, and they even had both the European and the American versions. 497 versus 928, lifting up the flap of the box showcases this in mint condition, which was absolutely crazy. For me, it was also really cool to see a ton of Fabuland sets mixed in with the classic space stuff. I didn't even know Fabuland figures came in this particular packaging, so that was really interesting. And every single one of them was labeled as belongs to the LEGO Idea House, which was super cool. This was a really interesting box that kind of had just no sort of design on it and just a flat green panels, which the historian explained was a LEGO Fabuland retail display that had a copy of every single one of the characters, which is pretty insane. I'm not really sure why that ended up here, because that feels more like a special exclusive item rather than a standard retail set, but it was still really cool to see. Of course, I had to take a picture next to one of my favorite LEGO classic space sets, the M-Tron Mega Core Magnetizer, which is so cool. Definitely one of the all-time greatest LEGO space sets of all time, and as we moved further and further through history, it was really cool being able to see glimpses of these sets that I personally grew up with, like the Space Police 3 sets, LEGO architecture stuff, so on and so forth, but also some of the oldest vintage items as well. Yes, there was a sealed copy of every single Bionicle set here as well, because of course Bionicle sets are standard LEGO sets, and that was pretty crazy. Just being able to hold a handful full of sealed Bionicle canisters was insane, and a lot of these items I've never seen in the box sealed in my life. Even not sealed, I've never seen the boxes in my life whatsoever. I loved all the references to random LEGO stuff, like a blueprint for Jack Stone, the original Mindstorm stuff, all sorts of crazy LEGO items on display, and honestly, there were so many items here that I wish I was able to spend so much more time, but unfortunately we only had 2 hours in the vault, which again sounds like a lot of time. Having 2 hours to look through here was admittedly a lot of time, but for me it just absolutely flew by. It felt like I could have spent a whole day in here, and oh my goodness, this is definitely on my bucket list again to spend even more time in if there ever is an opportunity in the future that I get to see this place again. Oh my goodness, I just want to spend so much more time in here because I was breezing through every single aisle. Now, moving onwards to 2006, you can see some classic stuff like Vikings, Exoforce. Of course, we had to take a photo with the big LEGO Boeing Dreamliner set. Honestly, not a very well-built set, but of course, since we did design the World Wonderliner plane, we were like, haha, that's our LEGO set right there. Now, there were some very strange things like Click-It stuff. We had a Bionicle parts bin, which was really cool to see that actually fully sealed. Vezon and Cardass, of course. an XXL Lego bucket, there was an RC Lego Technic car. I tried to take photos of some of the more interesting things that I felt just had unique packaging or things that I just hadn't really seen in person before. Look at this giant Duplo airplane, that's pretty cool. But overall, it was honestly kind of overwhelming. Like, there was so much to see that I feel like I barely scratched the surface of the different items. I really wish that I had more time to maybe sit down and catalog, especially some of the rarer stuff that we don't even have clear images of packaging for. I wish that I had time to like just sit down and take good photos of everything that was in here, but again, time was short and I wanted to see as much stuff as I could. So I wanted to get a ton of exclusive photos and items of different things, including the black NXT. That was really cool. Never seen or held that in my hands before, so that was amazing, that little package in the back. And of course, moving onwards to 2008, we have some of the great Clone Wars sets, we have Indiana Jones in there, no canceled sets, but a lot of different sets just scattered all around. And these space just continued on and on. Now, he mentioned that they would probably run out pretty soon. I'm pretty sure they only have until like 2025 or 2026 until this space is full. They are facing very similar size constraints as I personally am in my house. Whereas I think that in my house, in my own Lego collection, I probably have like a year, maybe 2 years tops. It seems that the Lego Vault also has a year or 2 years tops before they have to either move or change the entire way it is set up. So I found that really funny how we're kind of on the same timeline of having to expand to a larger space. But it was just so nostalgic and so cool being able to see these items, sets that I grew up with, but also sets that I just had never seen before, like the sealed Lego Kuso set was really cool because that one was only sold in Japan. Very, very interesting to see. And they even had all of the retail display boxes for stuff like Mixels and the collectible minifigures, which was very neat. Moving onwards, we are getting more into the modern era now. Now we're approaching the 2015 era, so I'm pretty familiar with all of the sets here, but it was still cool to see these shelves fully stocked with all of these iconic Lego sets. I have so many good memories of building these sets, especially growing up and playing with them, so it was very cool to see this again. All fully sealed. I mean, can you imagine that? This was a dream come true, and seeing those Bionicle 2015 sets honestly made me kind of sad. Like, it made me really nostalgic for G2 and that era of Lego that is probably never gonna come again. And yeah, they had everything stretching all the way into the modern times. The really funny thing is that they actually accidentally had an unreleased set in here. It's since been released so I can talk about it, but it was the Lego Galileo GWP. I noticed it was in the vault and I was like, hey, by the way, I know you mentioned there shouldn't be any unreleased stuff in here, but this hasn't been revealed to the public yet because this tour took place in September. So they quickly got rid of that set and hid it away, which was kind of funny because I did spot one thing that wasn't supposed to be there. But overall, it was remarkably well cataloged. It was really interesting seeing all of the sets together. Organizationally speaking, I think that maybe there could be a slightly more dynamic layout, but again, this is supposed to be a vault, it's not supposed to be a display, and you know me, I prefer having my Lego sets fully built, but if I owned the Lego group, heck yeah, I would have a vault full of sealed sets. Full of every sealed product we made, of course I would put one copy of each in a vault, so it makes total sense that Lego chooses to keep these all fully sealed. But I wonder if in the future LEGO will ever consider making a vault full of opened and built LEGO sets. Obviously, the space would have to be a lot larger, but maybe I could do something like that in the future and beat LEGO to the punch, because that is the ultimate goal of my LEGO collection, is to display a massive built LEGO museum. So, we'll have to see, but this was really inspiring seeing all these boxes, and honestly kind of made me wish that I kept boxes. Like, I don't actually want to keep boxes. It is physically impossible for me to do so. But I will admit, seeing all of them lined up is really cool. Like, seeing a copy of every LEGO set, or almost every LEGO set, in the box, fully sealed, just in a row, is pretty insane. Like, this is something that it's hard to convey with just words. Like, you just look at this and it's just mind-blowing how many unique things that you can see here, and how interesting it is to see how LEGO packaging evolved in the future. Of course, there was a section dedicated to the wooden toys, which you can see a quick look at here. Of course, I had to take a photo of the infamous LEGO ducks and the more infamous LEGO gun. So, LEGO did actually make a wooden pistol and shotgun, which is pretty funny. My eye is on that classic LEGO duck. I'm still hunting for the classic one. I do have a wooden duck now, but I don't have the classic one. But yeah, there's a LEGO gun. I kind of want to get this too, just because of it's so funny. Now they have LEGO irons there. These are some crazy wooden toys, so all sorts of really unique vintage stuff. But of course, my main focus was on those older LEGO sets, going down memory lane, and honestly, I'm just so grateful for having had the chance to actually be able to tour this. It really means a lot that we were given access to the LEGO Vault. It was something I had heard of when I was a kid, but I never would have imagined ever in my life being able to actually tour the LEGO Vault myself. So I'm incredibly grateful to LEGO Masters, to the entire production company for making this a reality. Thank you so much for letting me catalog this, share it with all of you, and I'm just so happy they allowed me to release footage on YouTube because now I get to share this with everybody watching right now. This was honestly a dream come true and was just one of the many, many highlights of a phenomenal life-changing trip to Billund. And truly we got a chance to go down memory lane. Also, anyone know what this set is? They had this in the lobby, but I was not allowed to get one, and they had some like weird 3D printed pieces in it too. That was a pretty abrupt shift, but yeah, what is this? What am I looking at here? Folks, what is this piece? I'm very curious. I managed to take a ton of photos of it, and I'm super curious what the deal is with that, as well as some of these red eye pieces. That was kind of strange. Anyways, very, very cool to tour the LEGO Idea House and the LEGO Vault, and big, big thank you to everybody who made this possible. I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, and with that, we have summed up our tour of the elusive LEGO Vault. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of the vault, and would you ever want to visit yourself one day? It was honestly so surreal just being in that room, seeing sealed copies of pretty much every single LEGO set that they've ever made, at least all the major ones that have been sold through standard retail means. What a cool experience, what a cool location, and thank you to LEGO for making it happen. Thanks so much for tuning into Duck Breaks. That's all we have for today. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming away very soon. Thanks so much, and bye for now.